Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another juicy, sloppy, creamy creamy video. And today I wanted to talk about the DMC anime, the Netflix one, and how this anime could actually be fixed and what changes would have to be made to make season 2 good, because season 2 is going to be coming out 2026. I'm assuming a couple months from now, if I were to guess. Probably in the winter or spring of 2026. So I'm gonna make this video and I'm gonna force Addy to watch it, and then he's gonna be forced to make this show better. I feel like the biggest change to this show that would make it so much better is actually having Dante have more of a focus in the plot and in the show. It seemed like in the first season Dante really wasn't that much of a factor in the show. It seemed like other characters like Lady or the White Rabbit were more important than him, and it didn't seem like Dante really mattered that much. And a lot of the times it just felt like he was just kind of irrelevant. He literally spends an entire episode and a half in handcuffs in the back of a truck. And it feels like the whole villain, the White Rabbit, and his backstory and everything is more of an issue for Lady to resolve than it is for Dante. The villain doesn't have any connection to Dante at all, really, besides getting the other amulet from his brother and trying to use him to further his plan. Besides that, it doesn't really seem like the White Rabbit has any connection to Dante, and it's kind of like Lady's problem and Lady's enemy to defeat. This show would be so much better if Dante was more of a focus in the show. If I could just make one change to the show from now on, that's what I would do. Make Dante actually the main character. He's on the cover. People are watching the show to see Dante. That's the reason they're actually watching the show, if you didn't know. So make Dante the actual main character. Make Dante actually matter. Make him impact the plot. Make him actually be needed. I know there's going to be some people in the comments that are going to say, oh, well, this is a new Dante. He hasn't gotten that much experience hunting demons and everything. And that's why I can feel like he's kind of irrelevant or not really around as much. For example, getting stuck in the handcuffs and losing to Lady and losing all these fights and getting his ass beat basically the whole show. But I'm not talking about him losing fights or how powerful he actually is. That's been talked to death. I'm talking about him actually being the main character and actually being the focus of the show. Make the story about Dante and a mission he has to go on or something he has to achieve. In every Devil May Cry game, the gist of it is there is a goal that Dante has to achieve. Follow Dante through doing the thing that he's trying to do. I wish the show followed the same story structure as that. A threat or a goal or something cropped up, and we follow Dante as he stops the villain or achieves a goal or does something. And then by the end of the season, he achieves that goal, and then we reset for the next season. I feel like that story structure would just be so much better. It would just be night and day if Dante was actually the main character here. I don't want to touch too much on the power scaling. I hate using that fucking word. It's so cringe. The power scaling, because I feel like it's kind of been talked to death. The whole problem of Dante being inconsistently strong, his strength being inconsistent. He can get shot through the chest with a shotgun and get his ribs and organs exploded, but then Lady shoots him with a taser little minigun and it just completely puts him out of commission. And it's like, oh, why didn't he just dodge the bullet anyway when he dodged thousands of assault rifles being shot at him full auto just earlier in that episode? I feel like this ties back into the first point I talked about too, of Dante just kind of being a device to push the plot along and not actually being the main focus of the show. But yeah, that's another thing to be fixed. I'm just going to kind of just link that onto the last point, is better power scaling, something more consistent. Dante shouldn't just be completely embarrassed and just shat on by every character in the show. A normal human like Lady with no superpowers shouldn't be able to even put up a fight against him. He can infinitely regenerate. Has super strength. Even if he hasn't unlocked Devil Trigger yet, he's still way beyond the realm that any normal person without some kind of special ability would be able to take him down. But yeah, to just wrap up this whole point, because I feel like this video is already super unorganized. The anime should be about Dante. He should be the center focus of the anime. And the anime should be about some antagonist or some goal or something that Dante is trying to do. And along the way, there's different obstacles and setbacks he runs into while trying to defeat this enemy or do this goal. He can get new devil arms along the way. Maybe some ones from the games, maybe some new ones. And it all wraps up by the end of the first season. And then season 2, we have a new antagonist introduced. That would just be a way better story structure, and it would just make the anime a lot better. So I guess we'll move on to the next point here. The next point I had was no more inserting politics into the show. This would improve it drastically. The first season of Devil May Cry has a lot, and I mean a lot, of political messaging and political commentary about the real world. I'm not making this up or anything. Addy actually acknowledged that this was the case, and he did this stuff on purpose. What I'm referring to as being the political messaging in the show is the whole subplot with the Macayan people. That's a whole other subject of how they made the demons good people that are just misunderstood, and they're a race called the Macayans. That shouldn't even exist anyway. But in the show, there's a race of people called the Makaians that are what the people know as demons. They're from this alternate hell dimension called Makai, which became uninhabitable, but they're forced to stay there in their uninhabitable hellscape because Sparta put up a wall separating the human world from the demon world thousands of years ago. So with the help of the White Rabbit, some Makaian people are sneaking through this barrier into America in the real world, and the American government doesn't like that, and even though these people are really nice, they see them as demons and aliens and are forcibly trying to put them back into their own world and remove them. So like I said every other time I've explained this, I'm not going to actually tell you what this is a parallel to in the real world, but there are aliens from a hell world that is uninhabitable that want to come to America, but they can't because there's a wall there separating the two worlds. So some of them are sneaking through the wall to America, and the American government sees them as evil even though they're not, and are forcibly making them go back. Like, dude, like, why did you put political messaging in a Devil May Cry show? Some people are saying like, oh, the political messaging is fine, just ignore it. But no, I shouldn't have to ignore it. This shouldn't be a problem at all. Like, this should not be here in a cartoon. If you're a creator of a show, you should not take your own political beliefs and inject them into a show. Now, I can't find the exact article where Addy talked about how he did this on purpose and acknowledged the fact that he put his own political views into the show, but I do have the video where I talked about it, so I'll just play a snippet of that right here. Episode 6. I just want to read this excerpt to you. This is gonna absolutely blow you away. I want to highlight episode 6 of Devil May Cry. It's a mostly non-verbal episode until the end, and it deals in political allegories with the plight of demonic refugees. Devil May Cry was loud and in your face. My show captured that. Episodes 1 to 5 are a Hollywood blockbuster from 1997 to 2003. It's The Crow. It's Underworld. It's Bad Boys. Take the volume from a 10 to something that will blow out your speakers. But I like playing in contrast. Sometimes you can make the loudest statement with no words. If you look at the Parkland shooting, there was a big rally around it, and maybe this inspired it. Everyone was giving speeches, but one student got on stage and said nothing for 5 minutes in a forum of speeches and activism. The silence said the most. When you're a kid dealing with chaos, it's loud. I wanted you to feel for these characters. Any good villain, any human being is the hero of their story. There's a logic and narrative justifying them. They don't just go, I'm gonna do villainy. They're going, I'm the hero. I wanted to put you in the shoes of the White Rabbit. There's that quote, walk a mile in someone's shoes, you become them. Coupling that with the idea that trauma is an imprint, a fracture in time, something that psyche never stops trying to mend. When a part of the child dies through heartbreak, the adult self is sentenced to an unending quest to reclaim what was lost. That shapes them in ways they may not understand. And that's it. He just acknowledges the fact that episode 6 is a political allegory. He acknowledges and basically just confirms that the episode 6 of the anime is a political allegory. You know, what's funny is I heard this floating around. It's like, oh, you know, the refugees, like, it's just like they're like alien refugees, and they like, oh my god, oh my fucking god. It's unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. I heard people talking about this, and I kind of just never really looked into it and put it out of my mind. So yeah, no more of that. no more of that. So my third and final point is about the combat in the show. So my third and final point, this is going to be a short one, is about the combat in the show, like the actual fighting. The fighting in the show did not feel like Devil May Cry fighting at all. Like, this is an adaptation of a video game. This is a show based on a game. It would be awesome if it felt like we were watching fighting or like gameplay almost from the game. That would look incredible. Nearly all of the fighting in this show, especially against the demons, any demon that's not like some kind of boss or something, and even the bosses really, Dante kind of just defeats them in just one hit, or he just spams ebony and ivory at them. You never really get to see Dante do cool combos or weapon switching or utilize different weapons like he does in the games. It's either him just standing there just like shooting his guns at the enemy, or it's him just like slicing, like boom, 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 just slicing through every demon, and every demon it gets destroyed in one slice. And it's like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But Dante doesn't really fight like that. In the games, he switches between his different weapons. He juggles enemies in the air. He does all this cool stuff that would look so good in animation. That would look so good in like an animated medium of a show, that I don't know whether it was due to like them just not really seeing the vision or anything like that, or like budget or something, or it being too hard to animate that. But we didn't really get to see Dante fight like how Dante actually fights. And if somebody comments if somebody leaves a comment, oh, it's because Dante is inexperienced, and just, I'm literally going to like show up to your fucking house and just fucking kill you. People use that as an excuse for the show being shit, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing that. I'm sick of hearing the oh, X thing didn't happen in the show, not because the people making it didn't think of it because they didn't play the games. It's because Dante is too inexperienced to do it. Like, bro, shut up. Dante was 18 or 19 years old in Devil May Cry 3, and that's like some of the greatest action you will ever see in a video game. It's not an age thing. It is the people that made the show just don't like, I don't know. It's bad. Okay, it's because it's a bad show. It is not intentionally bad because Dante doesn't know how to do the things that we want to see him do. It's because they just didn't put it in the show. It's not an in-lore, in-universe reason. All right, I'm sorry. I see that so much, bro. That just pisses me off. But yeah, so that's my video. Thanks for watching it. Try to group the topics together. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Stay safe out there, guys. Give your mom a hug. Play lots of Devil May Cry. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.